We all love a bit of Disney, don't we? Welcome to Watch Mojo UK, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 British Disney stories.
Oh, but my dear Ratty, this is my career! Surely you can't mean...
I do mean it. You've got to stop this foolishness.
No,
You must.
no, I won't do it.
Your reckless behaviour is giving us
I won't
animals a
even
bad
listen.
name.
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're looking at Disney and Disney Pixar films that are all or partly set in Britain, or are inspired by British tales.
Anyway, I didn't steal you very much. After all, you's only a little thing. Still.
Number 10. Brave. With a stellar lineup of Brit performers, Brave brought amazing accents, a strong heroine and an all-round memorable movie.
Merida, this is what you've been preparing for your whole life.
No, it's what you've been preparing me for my whole life. I won't go through with it. You can't make me.
Merida!
As one of Disney's few forays into Scotland, they certainly did the Highlands justice. Although Brave isn't Pixar's most commercially successful film, it has developed a devoted following all of its own, with plenty of quotes to memorise off by heart and pivotal scenes to recreate.
Your broom! It was sweeping by itself.
That's ridiculous.
There's a lot of love for Merida amongst fans, most of which are pretty damn envious of her archery skills, not to mention her amazing hair.
Sorry, I don't speak bear.
Number 9. Basil the Great Mouse Detective.
Amazing.
Actually, it's elementary, my dear Dawson.
If you're going to retell a British story, and make it about anthropomorphic mice, it's always a good bet to pick one of the classics. Sherlock Holmes is exactly that, but the Disney take is quite a bit different to your average adaptation of the super sleuth.
There's always a chance, Doctor. As long as one can think.
The Great Mouse Detective is actually inspired by the Basil of Baker Street books by Eve Titus, which centre on the eponymous rodent who lives in a tiny roadside hole on, you guessed it, Baker Street. A movie built on all the familiar Holmes tropes, it's Victorian England, only animated.
Thank you, Dawson. Smile, everyone.
Number 8. The Sword in the Stone. A legendary movie in more ways than one, here's where Disney cashes in on the mystic mythology of the monarchy.
You'll become a great legend. They'll be writing books about you for centuries to come.
The historical accuracy of the King Arthur story is usually up for debate, but it clearly made for an especially magical Disney film. And true or not, we all want to believe that a king really was chosen based on his ability to pull a sword from a stone.
He's got to have a sword.
This is the ultimate underdog story, thereby playing into another British truism, and a rag to riches tale that is steeped in medieval charm.
It's a miracle, ordained by heaven. This boy is our king.
Number 7. Bedknobs and Broomsticks. Enter Angela Lansbury.
Good morning, General.
A bona fide British treasure nowadays, but before she became a Disney fan favourite for playing Mrs. Potts in Beauty and the Beast, she was taking the lead in Bedknobs and Broomsticks. With a darker setting than a lot of Disney films, the children at the heart of the story are evacuated from London during World War II and put into the care of Lansbury's character, Miss Price.
Sorry, miss, the cat startled us.
No need for alarm. You just frightened him, that's all.
One thing leads to another, and the kids soon learn that their custodian is training to become a witch. It's a spellbinding tale all round.
You've won the Ruddy Cup.
Number 6. 101 Dalmatians. If you're a dog person, chances are that this is one of your favourite Disney films of all time.
Tadita, darling, are you all right?
Oh, of course, dear. After all, dogs were having puppies long before our time.
It is packed with pooches and is definitely one of Disney's most adorable tales. But if there's one way to add a little extra charm to the titular tribe of Dalmatian puppies, it's by giving them all British accents.
I'm hungry, Mother. I really am.
It's not all fun and games and cuteness though. This film also has one of Disney's most disliked villains. The clue's in the name really, they just don't come any crueler than Cruella de Vil.
They're somewhere in this village and we're going to find them.
Now get going!
Number 5. Robin Hood. You don't need to have seen this movie, or any other Robin Hood film, to know the age-old story.
Are we good guys or bad guys? You know, are robbing the rich to feed the poor.
Rob? That's a naughty word. We never rob.
The legend is famous all around the world, but it all takes place in and around Nottingham's Sherwood Forest. The Disney version is clearly one of the best retellings though. How do you take a universally liked character and improve him? Well, you make him a fox for starters. This film follows that tried and tested Disney process of turning historical figures into walking, talking animals and giving them some catchy songs to sing. And it's one of the best examples of that process out there.
A minute before he knows we're there, old Rob will snatch his underwear.
Number 4. The Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. You might question whether Winnie the Pooh belongs on this list, since Pooh Bear and all of his buddies live deep in the fictional land of the 100-acre wood.
Haven't you been listening to what Rabbit's been saying?
I listened, but then I had a small piece of fluff in my ear.
But that wood was actually based on Ashdown Forest in East Sussex, and the original Pooh stories were of course written by the English author A.A. Milne.
Can Tigger's ice skate? Why, that's what Tiggers do the best!
Milne based it all on the stuffed toys owned by his son Christopher, imbuing everything with quintessential Englishness. Since then, Pooh, Tigger, Piglet and the rest have become classic Disney characters, and the search for honey has become a never-ending quest.
So Pooh ate and 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 ate.
Number 3. Peter Pan. At this point, there are so many film versions of the Peter Pan story that it feels as though we've seen it from every possible angle. But Disney were one of the first, and this adaptation is still one of the best. From Peter's shadow-chasing arrival to his titanic tussle with the malevolent Captain Hook, there's a lot crammed into this complete caper.
I give my word, Hook.
Good. Then let's have at it!
Every child dreams of going to Neverland and staying young forever, and this film, aided by pixie dust, takes us there. That said, the most recognisable scene is arguably back in London, as Peter, Wendy, John and Michael scale Big Ben.
There it is, Wendy. Second star to the right and straight on till morning.
Number 2. Alice in Wonderland. Lewis Carroll's classic tale of one girl's journey down the rabbit hole is fantasy fiction at its finest.
Oh, Mr. Rabbit! Wait! Please!
So much so that any adaptation was running the risk of ruining the magic. But Disney pulled it off in the early 1950s with a psychedelic stroll through Wonderland that turned Alice into a cinematic icon, almost a century after she first graced the page.
Oh, you're a cat!
A Cheshire cat. Oh, la mimsy. Oh, the border go.
A movie boasting a gloriously weird ensemble of brilliantly unexpected characters, it also completely reinvented tea party etiquette. The ever-angry Queen of Hearts, a drowsy doorknob, and a rabbit with poor timekeeping skills. What more could you need?
Oh, Pooh, I'm not afraid of you. Why, you're nothing but a pack of cards.
Number 1. Mary Poppins.
Perhaps it's a witch. Of course not. Witches have brooms.
A watershed moment for Disney as a whole, and the best breakthrough roles for Julie Andrews, Mary Poppins manages a peculiar balancing act of being undeniably Disney, but also brilliantly British as well, minus Dick Van Dyke's accent.
All right, ladies and gents, comical poem, suitable for the occasion, extemporised and thought up before your very eyes.
Any child that watched this one was left with a longing for a Mary Poppins of their own, a nanny who could make everyday life amazing.
1, 2...
Whether it's jumping into chalk drawings or floating through laughter, all while singing arguably the greatest Disney soundtrack of all time, it's almost impossible not to enjoy this movie.
Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from Watch Emoji UK and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.